Today we will be reviewing the CTC Math online math program, also known as Math Online. I'm going to walk you through the whole program, and I will be showing you the paid version today so you can see everything that CTC Math has to offer. So let's get started. So if you've never heard of CTC Math, here is a little overview. CTC Math is a complete online math program for kids in kindergarten through 12th grade that was created by Australian educator Pat Murray. You can use it as your entire math curriculum for homeschool, or it can be used as a supplement. If you Google CTC Math, you may also see a website called Math Online. I thought this was interesting because it had the same logo that I've seen with CTC Math. So I looked into it and it appears to be the exact same thing. So I'm thinking maybe they are trying to rebrand themselves. In this video, I'm going to keep calling it CTC Math. But if you've seen Math Online and been interested in that math program, this video is for you as well because both websites bring you to the exact same thing. You can get a free trial of CTC Math that will allow you to try out the first few lessons in each topic without having to give them your credit card info. So that does really let you play around and see if this is something you want to use long term before signing up. But there are some things that you won't have access to, such as the exams and reporting. So I'm going to show you the paid version in this video so you can see everything. When you first sign up, you'll get an email right away with the information on how to log in. You'll start by logging into the parent dashboard, and then you'll need to set up your student. Once you do that, they will be able to log into the platform themselves. If you just want them to log in and pick their grade level and start learning, then there isn't anything else that you need to do. But if you're like me, you might want to set this up with a little more detail for your student. So you can actually set up a course planner to customize the lessons that they will be doing. You can pick their grade level, and then if you want, you can remove any topics that you want to. You can also change the order that the topics are presented in. And you can decide whether or not to include diagnostics tests. You can also set a date range for the activities to be distributed over, so your student has a certain amount to complete each day. And you can make some other selections down below here. And then you'll be able to see the plan you created, which you can of course make changes to later on if you need to. You can also go in and edit each of these or delete individual tasks. There's a lot you can do here, but if you find this overwhelming, you don't have to do this. I'll show you how this all works on the student dashboard in just a moment. So why don't we switch over now to the student side of things so you can see what this online math program is actually like from the student's point of view. And then we'll go back to the parent dashboard and take a look at a few more things together. So here's what your student will see when they log on to CTC Math. So your student could just come here, pick their grade level, and start learning, even if you didn't create that plan that we just looked at. No matter what grade level they pick or what lesson they work on, the program will track their progress towards mastery. If you've ever used Khan Academy or IXL, this is similar in that regard. So students can jump around, but they and you will be able to see what topics they have mastered. The curriculum is set up by grade level. So you pick a grade level and then you can see the topics that are available. And if you pick a topic, you can then click on one of the options here to go to the lessons. You can go in any order, which is why you may want to create a plan and have your student work on specific tasks. But before we get into that, let's see what some of these lessons are like. The lessons all have short videos that don't include any people or fancy graphics. They are very straightforward, but that does make them easy to follow because they focus on explaining one concept in a short video. Some students may find the Australian accent of the educator in the video difficult to understand. Let me just play a minute of the video for you now so you can hear it.
Greater than or less than. Now that symbol there, that means greater than. And this symbol here means less than. Now, a good way to remember that, if we just look at this symbol here, well, it looks a bit like a squashed L. Okay, so just remember L for less than. So let's see how we can write these. So if we have that there, we've got 10 greater than 4. So we say 10 is greater than 4. This one here, 250, then the less than symbol, 800. So we would say 250 is less than 800. This one here, 695, less than 1,240. We would say 695 is less than 1,240. Now, when we say that 10 is greater than 4, what that means is that 10 is bigger than 4. And when we say 250 is less than 800, we just mean 250 is smaller than 800. Now, let's have a look at some examples. So we're asked to write in the correct symbol, that less than or the greater than symbol for each. So our first one, we've got the two numbers 52 and 73. Now we're asked to compare them using these two symbols here. Now just to quickly revise them, this symbol here means greater than or bigger than, and this symbol here, the squashed L, means less than or smaller than. Now let's have a look at our two numbers, 52 and 73. So is 52 bigger than or smaller than 73? Well, it's smaller than or less than it, isn't it? So we're going to get that less than symbol and put that in the box over here. So 52 is less than 73.
So that's what a typical video is like. Keep in mind that watching the video is not required to master the concept. Students can work on the questions without having watched any of the videos at all. Below the video is a lesson summary that students may find helpful. They can also download the PDF if they want to. And when they are ready, they can work on the questions and work towards mastery in the topic. When you complete all the questions, you will see your score and progress towards mastery. If you get a low score, you can keep working on more questions to try and raise your score. You can also generate a report that will show how you did on each of the questions. Let's look at another lesson now. As you can see, the video is very similar, and I'm not going to play this one for you, but it is the same person talking in the video. So I think a lot of your decision on whether or not to use this online math program is going to come down to how you feel about the teacher and how they talk. If you love it, great. If not, then you may not want to have to listen to it for each and every lesson. And then the question format is going to be similar. Once you answer a question, whether you got it right or wrong, you can see a brief explanation of the solution. And you will see your progress towards mastery as you go. So that is how the lessons on CTC Math work. So you could have your child just work on one grade level in order, or you could have them work on specific topics. But you can also have them work on tasks that you assign. So to do that, they would go here to tasks. For this, they will actually have to go in order and do the tasks that you assign. The lesson format is going to be the same, but this is a way for you to create a plan of what you want your child to work on and how many lessons you want them to do each day. And once they complete the first lesson, then the next one will open up and so on. So this is probably how I would do it if I was using this as my main homeschool math curriculum. This way it's more structured and your child knows exactly what is expected of them. With CTC Math, students can see their results on the student dashboard. They will be able to see the lessons they've done, their grades, and their progress towards mastery in each topic. They can also download this as a PDF. There are several different reports here that they can view as well. So this is nice that students are able to access their results. Under settings are some things they can change, such as the color scheme and the default grade for reports. There is also a history section here so students can pick back up where they left off or view their timeline of recent activity. And then over here is an exam section. This is something else that needs to be set up in the parent dashboard, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. When there is an exam to be taken, it will show up in the active exam section. So then your child would just go through and complete the exam. They give them some time to read through all the questions first before the exam starts, which may be helpful. I found it frustrating and just wanted the exam to start. Once they complete all the questions, you will be able to see the results in the parent dashboard. For this one, they won't know whether they got the questions right or wrong. They will have a chance at the end to edit their answers before they submit the exam. Students can also take diagnostics tests on CTC Math. There are 3 options: short, standard, and comprehensive. And these are available in each of the grade levels and topics. You can also assign them as a task for your child to complete, and then it will show up in their tasks. So for these, your child would just go through the test and answer the questions. And they will see as they go whether they got the question right or wrong. If they got it wrong, they will be able to see what the correct answer was. There are also a few math games that your child can do on here. The first is called Speed Skills. There are 4 levels of speed skills that they can practice. This is a fun way to see how fast you can answer the questions and try to beat your high score. There is also a times tables game. This one lets you practice your times tables from 1 to 12. It's a neat little tool to help kids who are at the stage where they are learning the times tables to help them practice. And then Swap Pieces is a fun little puzzle game they can play. Okay, so that takes care of the student section of CTC Math. Now let's take a look at the parent dashboard together. So here's the main screen that you will see when you log on to your parent dashboard. You can see the status of any exams that you assigned and any tasks that you have set up for your student. You can also see your student's recent activity, awards, and weekly reports here. Over here, you can see your students that you have set up, and here is your account info. Under Students, if you click on Profile and Results, you can see reports by grade level here and download them if you wish. You can also view a summary of all the tasks for each grade level, so you can see which tasks they have completed. And here you can see the tasks you have assigned. Under Individual Results, you can view the lessons they have completed for each grade level and even see the report of how they did on the questions. You can see their results for the diagnostics tests by grade level here. And we haven't gone over question banks yet, but you will be able to see the results for those here. Under Exams, you can see the exams they have completed. Here you can see any awards they have earned. Speed Skills will show you their scores for the Speed Skills game. History will show the same information on their activity that we saw on the student dashboard. And under Export is where you can create some reports and export them to an Excel file. From here, you can also get to the course planner for this student, edit the student's information, or delete this student. You can also create a weekly revision set. This is like a review worksheet that you can create for your child to complete each week. So you can set this up by picking the grade level and choosing the day and time of the week for these to be assigned. And then once you create this, you can see the results for it down below here. You can also edit or delete it here. Under Tasks, you will be able to view and edit all the tasks you have assigned for your student. Under Exams, you can view the results of past exams or assign a new exam. To create an exam, you would click on New Exam, Create New Exam, select which topics you want to cover, and then if you want, you can even customize this more. Then you choose the date and time for the exam, click Save, and the exam will become available for your student on the date and time you selected. Under Question Banks is where you can basically create your own worksheets that can be printed off to complete on paper. So to create a question bank, it's just like creating an exam. You click New Question Bank, select the topics you want to cover, select your difficulty level and number of questions, click Generate Questions, and then you can customize this further if you want. Otherwise, just name it something and then click Save. And then if you want to print it out, you can go here and click the print icon, and then you can even add details like name and date, or space on the worksheet for the student to work out the problem. So this is a pretty cool feature if you have the time and want to make these extra worksheets for your student. You can also click on View with Answers and print out your own copy with the answers. And by the way, I didn't have time in this video to go into each and every little detail, but if there's something you don't quite understand, you can look for this little help icon on some of the pages, and then you can click it to get a pretty detailed video explanation. So keep that in mind if there's anything you want to know more about that I didn't cover in this video. Okay, so that's pretty much everything I wanted to show you today about CTC Math. Now let's talk about the price. And then I'll share my honest opinion about this online math program. So unfortunately, if you had heard about the half price for homeschoolers on CTC Math, that is no longer being offered. Or at least I was not able to find it. The price is now listed at $39.90 per month or $257 per year for a single membership, and $59.90 per month or $397 per year for a family membership. So it is a bit expensive. That's really too bad because for years it was just an automatic 50% off if you clicked the Homeschool tab, but that isn't being offered anymore. So now is the part of the video where I give you my honest opinion and answer some questions that you may have. So what do I think about this online math program? I like it. I think it's a really solid option for a complete online math curriculum. It is very popular with homeschool families because it's comprehensive, it's easy to follow, and it covers everything from kindergarten all the way through calculus. It's not just a practice tool. Each lesson includes actual instruction in the topic, and it is designed so that the instruction is short and to the point with plenty of practice so that they make sure the student actually understands the concept. Some parents might be wondering how this curriculum aligns with U.S. state standards. And I don't think that it aligns with any specific state or Common Core, which I know for a lot of you is probably a good thing, but it's just something to keep in mind. However, there is a document on the Math Online website that lists the U.S. outcome codes, so I'll leave that link for you in the video description below. Also, as I mentioned before, I do recommend that you take a listen to some of the lessons so that you can hear the way that the teacher talks. This is really important that your student likes the way that the videos are presented. I also want to point out that to me, this program is kind of similar to Khan Academy. Since that program is completely free, I encourage you to compare the two if cost is a factor. I hope this video helped you to understand what the CTC Math online math program is all about. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments and I will be happy to answer. And if there are any other online math programs that you'd like me to review, let me know and I will add them to my list. Thank you so much for watching.